Hello, duckies, and welcome back to Queen's Wish 2. My name's Viola. If you like what you see, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help the channel. You emerge from the smoking ruins of the Fangs of Judgment. To the north you see Row, a merchant caravan, some scouts, a few warriors. All are staring in shock at the remnants of their mighty wall. Then they turn and leave. Not a panicked flight, but they aren't slow. Soon, news of what happened here will spread through the Hylitha, and then the Rokaj. Queen Sharon ordered that Haven show its power. It has been done. A band of Hylithan warriors dressed in multiple layers of leather and armed with scourges patrols this road. When you get close, they step off and disappear into the woods. After you have safely passed, they emerge from the waste and continue their patrols. Okay, well, let me take a look at the map because I have a keep up here somewhere. That's the town I need to go to, but I should go and get my keep. Chose a second bridge. Ice fruit. I don't think it would be something called ice. Here's the second bridge. Yeah, I think I'm on the right path now. Ah! Haven's highest, most remote fort in the Rokaj, Glacier Keep, comes into view in front of you. Its crumbling walls and shoddy buildings are huddled in on the east shore of the icy, swift-flowing river. Only a few guards are visible, and those are peering out of the gates. The tents outside the fort are empty, however, these are in good condition. They've been put up only recently. You also see piles of fresh supplies outside the gate. The fort is neglected, but not forgotten. Someone is quietly paying attention to it. With your help, it might be restored. Alright. You enter Glacial Keep, the highest, coldest, most remote, and most neglected of Haven's forts in the Rokaj. The gates are watched by bundled-up soldiers who can barely salute their shivering limbs as you pass. This is a miserable outpost, but it's a necessary one. After the Great Uprising, Haven made sure that they could watch every part of their disobedient vassal at all times. What surprises you the most is that this fort is actually properly supplied. You see barrels and crates and sacks of supplies everywhere you look. Recently, someone higher up decided that Glacier Keep needs to be able to protect itself. The chief must be in the grimy longhouses by the river to the west. The report you receive is sure to be interesting. Okay, well, let's do our general loop around the outside. Getting a bearing on the layout. smithy, apothecary, weaver, carpenter. Anything that we can get. Without overdoing it. Okay. The stones first. And place smithy. Carry. Weaver's room, and we're going to need one more stole. Carpenter. Over here. Building. Inside. There's a nail here. Over here, we'll place three. Here. Do we have space to place something in here? Yes, we do. Okay, then we'll place the barracks right there. And that's all we can afford to do here at the moment. We got a book over here. Ova Krug. Stone circle at the highest of the Rokash peaks, its frozen barren place made by unknown builders before recorded history. When the differing cultures and clans of the Ro have a great dispute that must be settled, they come to Pruba Krug. If they don't have the strength to get there and survive on the icy, wind-blasted peaks, they are not strong enough to prevail. It is one of the oldest customs of the Ro that all of its people must be granted free passage to Pruba Krug. Of course, this courtesy does not extend to invaders. It is fitting that these fierce people choose such an inhospitable realm for all of their most serious deliberations. An envoy. It's an old man of the Ro sitting at the table. He's wearing clean clothes of a nearly current style. Must be from the gentle coast. He's sipping weak tea and chewing salty dried meat with quiet resignation. When you approach, he eagerly invites you to join him. Welcome, princess. I didn't really believe that you would come. I am Pollux, envoy of Haven. Here on official business, though my mission is far less significant than yours. I know you had a difficult time getting here. You're both Ro and envoy? But of course, Haven has always drawn scholars, soldiers, and envoys from its vassals. We are citizens of the Empire, after all. Many of us are eager to serve. What other roles do the Ro play for Haven? Understandably, most Ro in Haven services are soldiers. Our warriors are highly in demand all throughout the Empire. Alas, this means that the warriors most likely to support Haven are far away whenever trouble happens. What do you think? What do the Ro think of one of their own who works for Haven? It is hard to tell. You've heard of our deep truths, perhaps? To an invader, a row will always say the most useful lie. Of course, any row will say they are happy to serve Haven. Only the closest of them know the truth. Closest to them know the truth, and not even I, a true row, can always tell. How have you been treated as an envoy? I'm treated like a Havenite. Politeness, respect, pleasant lies. Still, I don't care. My position has brought great advantage to my clan. That's really all that matters. Do you ever fear for your life? No. I can be sure that the Guildmass will never come for me. They never take jobs to kill Haven or its servants. In return, Haven doesn't eradicate them. What is your business here? It's awkward. It was my understanding that the Rokash would soon select a replacement for Rasa Elha. This would happen at the highest peak of the Rokash, Prova Krug. Since I am from the Gentle Coast and speak for Haven, I should be able to take part. However, I have not. Tell me more about Rasa Elha. Here's Rasa of the Gentle Coast. She lived in Lascara. She was the one who gave you permission to travel the pilgrimage road. She was assassinated. True shame. She was a great leader. How would the Rasa be replaced? Those who want the position must descend to Prova Krug, a difficult and dangerous journey. All who want to take part in the decision must climb up there as well. Then there's a long debate. Sometimes it turns violent. Then, when there's a unanimous vote, one is selected to replace Elha. Why haven't you been able to take part? Because as far as I can tell, no plans are being made to replace Elha. It's time for the meeting on Prova Krug. I went north to the ice gate, the path to the high peak. That is as far as I could go. What happened? The ice gate was surrounded by warriors from all over the Rokash. There was no meeting, no celebration. They were ready for battle. They were not there for a debate. When I asked them about Rasa Elha's replacement, they had no idea what I was talking about. They were no friends of the Gentle Coast, though. They told me to go. I think it was only being an envoy of Haven that saved my life. Who were those warriors? I don't know. I don't know where they were all from or why they were there. I only know that were a lot of them and blood was on my mind. What do you think is happening? I don't know. I want to talk to Rasa Saharum. He should know what is happening in his lands. However, he's not in Etzalam, and nobody would tell me where he is. Worrying. He is in many ways the most trusted voice in all of the Rukash. So I stay here and try to decide what to do. I had to blow up a big wall to get here. The wall in Fangs. Yes, the Hylithans were very attached to it. They are quite angry about what happened. I was following orders. The orders of our queen, the voice of Haven. That makes them no less angry, of course. The Hylithan waiting in the warehouse. He stands alone, upright and dignified. His vicious, barbed scourge hangs from his belt. When you approach him, he gives you a little nod. I am Ravil, watcher of the Hylitha. I come on behalf of the Rokash. I will speak to those in authority. You're a watcher. I am. I am sent by the Hylithans to speak for Rasa Suharam. We watch for those who would stray too far from the deep truth of the Rokash. Did you come alone? In this case, yes. Normally I would have guards. To deal with this delicate matter, I was sent to the Havenites alone. What is the deep truth of the Rokash? To make you understand it fully would take a lifetime. I will only say that no conqueror holds our mountains forever. You should remember that. Who sent you? I came on my own. Rasa Saharam knows nothing of my actions. Seems unlikely. Who do you need to talk to? I will speak to any authority of the Empire who will listen. I need to talk to Rasa Saharam. That is unfortunate. I do not know where in the Hylitha he is. Obviously a lie, but he refuses to say otherwise. The Hylithans continue to struggle to keep you from meeting their leader. What brings you here, Watcher? You have destroyed a fortress of great importance to us, the final wall held by the Rokaj. Shattered the Fangs of Justice. Of Judgment. I'm responsible. You may speak with me. Watcher of Viola nods. You're the one who shattered the wall. I want to know why you did this, and I want to ask a question. I needed to enter the Hiawatha, and you prevented me. Perhaps we had reason. Perhaps you should have trusted the wisdom of our people instead of striking at us and humiliating us. Perhaps great harm will be caused by what you've done. We tried to get more elaboration about this, but Roville refuses to respond to your question. I had orders from the king. Doubtless you did, thus this action can't be blamed on the actions of a few rogues. It was a true expression of the feelings of Haven towards the Rokaj. We will react, keeping this in mind. What is your question? You attacked the Rokaj on orders of Queen Sharon. What happens now? Did you regret what you did? Will these humiliations continue? Deeply regret what I had to do. I do not plan to attack the world again. Watcher Rebel thinks about this. I will carry your words to those who will hear them. Then they will decide whether to believe you. Some will, some won't. Maybe it will be enough to calm things. Thank you, Princess. I will take your message and depart. When you approach the mirror, it fills with mist. The vapors are a riot of colors, red, blue, green, swirling rapidly. Due to chaos, your mother's voice emerges. Viola? Viola, it is me, the queen. I am still the queen. I am here. I will speak. You have reached the last of our forts. The row is reclaimed. That is correct, mother. Then the work is almost done. The Rokaj, vassal of Haven, the land of your father, is calmed. The trouble is ended. You've done so well. I am proud. Actually, things are really messy here. Long pause. No, that can't be true. The Rokaj loves us. I married a man from there. Their blood runs in Sutter's veins, and he will be king. They have been justly led, and all is well. A few problems remain. Will be taken care of soon. Suddenly the queen snaps at you. Nonsense! There are no problems. You are confused. You are always confused. All is well there. End your vacation and come home soon. I'm losing my patience. Once again, this mirror hisses. The light in it aren't as disturbing, though. It's more of a multicolored sheen. The wolf speaks to you again. Wolf's voice is still disguised enough that you can't tell anything about the speaker. We must speak again. You have made your force known. You have shown that you can shatter things. Can you rebuild them? There's something you need to know. What is it? I knew Darnell. I knew your father. Haven calls him consort. You call him a servant to your mother instead of what he really was, a proud and noble warrior of the Rokaj. Before you decide the fate of your half-homeland, you should know how he felt. How he truly felt. Prove that you knew him. I can't, not without revealing my identity. I will do that in time, but not yet. Listen to what I have to say, then judge if it has the ring of truth. How did you know him? He visited the Rokaj often before his death, alone. Your mother lost interest in us as soon as she had her prize. I traveled with him 3 times. Late at night, he said what he thought of Haven and the Rakash. You knew a consort of the Queen, so you're of high rank. I will grant that bit of cleverness. It is not important. How did he feel? He felt like one who saw the truth. Queen Sharon was distracted. She looked down on us. She wanted to extract our wealth, our amber and quicksilver, our noblest of men. She said pretty words, and then she sent the corrupt and incompetent to lead us. Only here, late at night, was he free to say how hurt and angry he felt. What do you want? The time of challenge is coming soon. The time for your father's people to be free. Justice calls for it. Your blood calls for it. Will you be of Haven or of the Rokaj? I am not my father. I will make my own decisions. Understood. Then soon we will see. Okay. Ah, here we are. The chief. First, for Cash Peaks, the highest elevation of the Rokaj are the high peaks. The ridges and valleys are too cold and barren to support life for long. That does not mean that they are never visited. Shamans sometimes visit them, looking for visions. Strange beasts can be found in tunnels in the crags. Most importantly, the highest peak contains Proba Krug, the ancient place of meetings and trials for the Rokaj. Sometimes an army will gather in the Rokaj peaks before it begins its campaign. Oh no. This is a highly impractical thing for a military force, but it serves a purpose in their culture. When an army gathers in the peaks, it is declaring that they fight to preserve the deepest truth of the row. Oh no. The chief of Glacier Keep is a small middle-aged woman. Her long years up in the icy mountains have left her pale and worn, but the blade hanging from her belt is sharp and properly maintained. She's never forgotten where she is stationed. She rises and gives you a brief bow. I am honored by your visit, Princess. I am Chief Yeldosa. This is the first time royalty of Haven has visited our humble fort. I will make your stay here as efficient and useful as possible. Greetings, Chief. I'll need your report. Of course, I know Queen Sharon sent you, but I am also sure you have more important places to be. Give me your report. My report is that all is well. As you can see, the fort is intact and not under attack. The walls are standing, we have adequate supplies, everything is peaceful, no reason for you to stay long. That is all. Considering recent events, such as your assault on the Fangs of Justice, this is oddly passive report. Tell me about this fort. As you can see, it's very humble. There are few row up here. The land is too harsh to support military action, thus Glacier Keep asks for little and uses less. We can go many years without any events of note. Again, strangely calm and passive. How long has the fort been here? It was built not long after the Great Uprising was violently crushed. The king at the time decided that we need to keep a closer watch on the Highlithans, but Glacier Keep was built. Thus, Glacier Keep was built. How did you come to command it? I asked and was accepted. That was 15 years ago. I've seen 3 Rasas. Rasa Saharum, the current Rasa, has held the post longest of the 3. I was the only one who asked for the post. I have been here some time. Why so little competition? Because not everyone shares my sense of duty, I suppose. There's no action up here to polish up a military history. There's no wealth, and thus no opportunity to line one's pockets. Also, it is miserable up here. I suppose a humble post suits me. Also, I confess I find the mountains beautiful. Need to speak with Rasa Haram. Part of the diplomatic mission, of course. Alas, he is not available. Since you shattered the Fangs of Judgment, I have been trying to talk to him. They say he is gone. They won't tell me where. Worrying. You reported the current situation as peaceful. Triggers never spoiled. That is an accurate word. As you say, we are not under attack. As you saw, we are not armed. Therefore, it is peaceful. I have not experienced a lot of peace since I came here. Oh, of course. I heard of the cowardly attack on you. We have had no rebels here, no raiders. The Hylithans continue to tolerate us. I have followed Governor Ivana's principles and left the Hylithans alone as much as possible. This has brought peace. What are Governor Ivana's principles? You should know that the Hylithans, though they are poor and few in number, have great authority in the Rokash. They are seen as the keepers of their deep truth, the way the Ro were meant to live their lives. Therefore, Governor Ivana has us pestering them as little as possible. If they don't ask for help, we leave them alone. We keep our soldiers out of their view. If the Hylithans are happy, the Rokash is happy. You support Ivana. I do. I have found her to be patient and wise. The other provinces need active governors who settle disputes and put down small rebellions. Up here, quiet is best. What do the Rokash think of our policies? I don't know. They aren't attacking us? Always a good sign. However, it is very, very hard to have a candid conversation with the Hylithan, or any Ro. They will tell whatever we want to hear. Meanwhile, the deep truth is that we are invaders who are destined to be driven out. I was sent to evaluate Governor Ivana. Of course, that is the standard part of a full diplomatic mission. I will say now that I admire Ivana, and I think she has acted correctly. If you want to remove Ivana, you will need to assign a replacement, will you not? That is true. Well, I do not want to be governor. I don't think anyone does. This is a cold place, in a long list of ways. Finding even an incompetent who is willing to serve up here will be hard. The fort could be rebuilt. It could. Perhaps some of our forts in the Rokash should be restored. However, you will need building materials. The main thing the Hylitha can provide is rare, precious quicksilver. Alas, of late it has been hard to trade. I know that you have a lot of new supplies. Yes, Governor Ivana has been unnecessarily generous with us. I'm sure all the weapons and food and such we have received was sent in error. We can send it all back at any point. She's not telling the whole truth, perhaps because of orders. You doubt that you can get the full story from her at this point. Why is it hard for you to trade? The Hylithans have always been remote. Lately, however, they are not only cold, but they are always claiming that they are out of materials. No stone is to be had, no rations, worst of all, no quicksilver. There has been concern. Where can I get more quicksilver? I can actually help a small amount. There are some ancient catacombs near here, the White Crypts. The dead there are buried with old jugs of quicksilver. Some sort of ancient practice. We've hired a few brigands to enter the crypts and recover the stuff. However, the flow from the White Crypts has slowed recently. I haven't been able to spare the soldiers to investigate. We could use help. Where are these crypts? They're across the river to the west. The rows stay away from them. They're still a bit haunted, I hear. You hire brigands. Yes, they're young, stupidly brave, and get the work done. Also, it keeps them from robbing us. The Hylithans don't mind you digging around in their crypts. In this case, no. The crypts are very old, and the shades within have been faint and quiet. Once ghosts become too old and stale, the living stop honoring them. She shrugs. Much like the old can be neglected in life. Anyway, the Mistalkers don't mind, especially if we rid them of angry spirits in the process. Save some work. This seems like limited service. It is. I doubt we'll be able to get more than 3 years' supply from those catacombs. Still, it's enough to get us through whatever is about to happen. You try to get her to elaborate, but her responses are rote and bland. Okay. Well. Alright. Well, to the fort, you find more supplies, food, and tools, yes, but also weapons. Someone is quietly preparing Glacier Keep to defend itself if necessary. I'll take these. Space plate frames can only be used when you are in forts. Items in pack spaces with dark frames are taken out of mission. Well, I'm only going to be using them in the fort. So yeah. You don't need all of this. Why would you? If things are peaceful here, as they so say, They would do those. I need money to be able to do that. Yeah. No. Please hold as well as this. Alright, guys, well, that is actually going to be it for today's episode. So thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell icon to keep up to date with all the videos. And remember to free the feral wildflower in you.